and this thing that we're calling Omnichannel.
Right.
This experience where a consumer can conduct part of their shopping experience online and then show up at a dealership. They don't lose any of the work that's been done along the journey. OEMs, lenders, and dealers are working better together with their partners to create these better experiences for new car shoppers. Absolutely, it will change the consumer experience, and it will make dealers way more efficient as well.
I'd like to go ahead and shift the conversation to kind of the evolving customer experience in the dealership and this term that we hear a lot, omni-channel. And Isabel, I thought we'd start with you. Positive outlook for 2025. Let's talk about our car buying journey study that was done recently. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what we might see on the horizon with all of the changes going on?
Yeah, sure. So listen, first thing I got to give a shout out. This is the 15th anniversary of the car buyer journey, right? Who knew 15 years ago that this thing was going to become a Bible to so many, and it has. So it gives us visibility into how a car buyer actually maneuvers through the process and how that's changed over the course of the last 15 years. And where we sit today is with 2/3 of car buyers telling us they are satisfied with the shopping experience. Pretty good number. It is much higher than what we saw pre-COVID. So during COVID, we saw levels kind of shot up, and they've kind of stabilized, but still better than where we were before. And this past year, we reached an all-time high with new car shoppers, which is suggesting that OEMs, lenders, and dealers are working better together with their partners to create these better experiences for new car shoppers. That's the good news. The experience with the dealership has also increased over the years, which is great because that still is the part of the process that is most painful for consumers. We did see all-time high record levels here for new car shoppers as well. And a lot of that was driven by a more seamless experience and this thing that we're calling Omnichannel. This experience where a consumer can conduct part of their shopping experience online and then show up at a dealership, and they don't lose any of the work that's been done along the journey. A lot of that is being attributed as a reason for this all-time high improvement in overall satisfaction for new car shoppers in particular. So we're excited about that. Now, with all that said, it still takes a consumer over 14 hours to get through this process, right? And we've moved the needle a little bit, but not enough, and we have such a long way to go. And out of that 14 hours, 6 of that is spent at dealerships, which is, let's face it, still pretty brutal for the average consumer. So to me, that is still a tremendous opportunity for all of us to play a role in helping dealers and the consumer get through that process more efficiently.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit more. So, and this is for everyone. You know, when you think about 14 hours to complete the car buying process, any advice that we would have for, could be OEMs, could be lenders, could be franchise dealers, could be independents, to continue to improve on that satisfaction? It's stable, like you said, it's stabilized, but can they use any of the insights that we have to continue to elevate the client experience and customer sat?
I mean, clearly I think so, right? Yeah. 2/3 satisfaction, that's great, but that leaves a whole third that still is begging for a better experience. One of the things that we know and that we have tracked over time is what parts of the experience are still the most painful today, and this has not changed in over a decade, and that is securing the deal, finalizing the price point, getting through the F&I process, and this is where we see consumers really, really struggle. And even if they do a lot of that work online, which by the way provides them a better experience, they still struggle once they show up at the dealership because they have to repeat steps of the process that they don't want to repeat, frankly. We do know that those that are doing a lot of this work online before showing up at the dealership are saving about 45 minutes at the dealership. So when you're talking about 14 hours, there's one way to shave almost an hour off the process. So big opportunities there still in this part of the journey.
Very good.
I'll weigh in from a perspective of digital commerce in every industry has reset consumers or continued to change the expectations of a consumer in shopping. Don't make me start over. Know me when I show up,
That's right?
Their time is valuable, and a vehicle purchase is still complex. It is. I would argue that it's more complex than any other purchase, even though it's their second largest.
I would agree with that.
And because of that, I think there's some level of understanding, but they still want the seamless experience. They still want you to know them. So I think the reason we still have the 14-hour experience is because all of the different customers that are out there that are looking to buy a vehicle, all those experiences are inconsistent from one dealer to another dealer because they have different approaches, they have different tools, they have different partners in the mix. The good news is the technology has continued to advance. You can truly buy, at least with us, you can truly buy a car fully online if you're using our tool if a consumer wants. If a consumer doesn't want to do that, which even I identify as this digital native, may not be quite there age-wise,
no.
but with the digital native, I want to go maybe test drive it, and I might finish it in the dealership if you make it easy for me, or I might want to go back home. That coming in and out of that experience is what we see consumers doing. There'll be a percent that continue to go online, but the tools are there. So I think it's up to us and the industry to help continue to make that more seamless. Now it's just making sure we implement it and we put it together. So
and
there's good news.
Tying to the market trends, credit and affordability is like the upfront issue for most consumers. Most consumers need to finance the transaction, and the traditional process puts F&I at the end. And yet the consumer really wants to do it roughly at the beginning. Know the parameters, know if they're going to be getting a decent interest rate, how that's going to apply to the structure of the deal, and ultimately what's the neighborhood of the monthly payment that I might be able to get for this specific vehicle. And then it gets exciting. And I think that really unlocks a lot more opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's omnichannel, because this is a cool physical product that you actually want to learn about. You want to touch, you want to go inside, you want to drive.
You want to experience it, that's right. And not simply by driving it, but you want to sit with someone. What we hear from consumers is, I want to sit with someone who's going to show me what this technology inside the car looks like. It's really hard to do that digitally.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Marianne, you mentioned tools. I want to circle back to that. At Cox Automotive, we have very much a customer-centric approach to how we think about the business. And we have been investing and thinking about how can we help the dealers and the rest of our clients be more efficient and be more effective. One of those tools that we've been focused on is Deal Central. And I was hoping if you could spend a little bit of time talking about Deal Central and its goal to transform the car buying experience.
Jonathan hit it on the head just a second ago when he talked about the consumer's ability to pay and afford. And they do want to know that up front and from a shopping experience. Deal Central's been an incredible, exciting opportunity because of all the data that we've been investing in over the years. Deal Central puts every bit of information that you need to know about Ken Kraft and his ability to afford, what you've been shopping for, what you're interested in, what you've bought in the past. It also will tell you how many times you've been in the service drive at either that rooftop or either that group, but it makes it extremely actionable, easy to use in one place. And if you start shopping online and you come in the store, everything that Isabel just referenced, everything that you did starting to do a deal online carries through, and now it is in the store with you. So you show up, you're not starting over. Somebody's not trying to renegotiate, something with you. It's consistent. And because that information is now right in the hands of that dealer associate, they can engage with you in something that you're interested in. They can know about you. And it is about time, but it is about getting you in the car or the vehicle that you want to be in and that you can afford. And so all of a sudden now I have a different experience. So it's super powerful. It takes all those analytics and really makes it actionable in a way that you couldn't do if somebody just walked in and then you're looking for files, you're looking over in this system, you're looking at a different system. It's all in one place.
I've been out with a lot of customers recently and with our account teams, and the feedback on Deal Central has been really, really positive as far as helping them be more efficient and improve the customer experience. So we're
agreed.
Yeah, I think it's been a great investment for us. So Isabel, we talk about omnichannel, circling back to our study and the car buying journey. Do you think that omnichannel will and the retail experience will impact consumer behavior ultimately? Will the technology and the efficiencies will it ultimately impact the?
I mean, absolutely. For all the reasons that Mary Ann just shared with us,
Yeah.
it creates a better experience. What we hear from consumers today is they do all this work online, and they show up at the dealership, and they are asked by the dealer to repeat the steps. And there's a reason for that. 97% of dealers tell us they're not sure they can trust the information that is sitting in their systems as factual information about Cancraft, who's shopping for a car. So they start that process all over again, which is frustrating for the consumer. Certainly not efficient for the dealer. The other challenge that they have is conflicting information, because again, they may not be doing all of their business with one partner. They may have to juggle different data sets. And so how do you make a decision when you have two KPIs that are pointing you in two completely different directions? And so I think as an industry, that is where we can help dealers. None of us have a shortage of data. It's just what we do with it that I think dealers need help with. And they lean on partners like the Cox Automotives of the world to help them do that, because a single point dealer is not going to have the staff in their store to help them analyze data to the degree that we have the tools.
Right.
Well, one of the things I would talk about a little bit on that is if you think about Auto Trader, you think about Kelley Blue Book, you think about dealer.com, you have all these front doors that you're seeing the impressions of where consumers are going and what they're looking for, and then it gives you signals of, are they in market? Are they really ready to buy?
Yeah.
That's right.
And if they are, then you bring that in the store. If you're not leveraging those connected tools, your information is going to be fragmented and it's going to be disparate. And then you're not going to know, or do they have a vehicle that was just in the service lane that has X number of miles on it and a potential RO that they need to get repaired? They may need to get them a new vehicle and purchase that used vehicle from them. But you need to know that. You need to be able to have that information so that when you're engaging with them, you already know what may be happening in another area of the dealership.
That's right. So to answer your question, absolutely it will change the consumer experience, and it will make dealers way more efficient as well.
So in future car buying journey studies, we could expect, through the influence of omnichannel, that SAT level to continue.
Oh my God, we already see it. We absolutely already see it. When we talk to consumers who tell us that they have had a successful experience, they've done the most of their work online, and then they seamlessly transition to a dealership without having to repeat parts of the process, of course their satisfaction scores go up significantly. So
Yeah.
we're just seeing little adoption of that, but we know it'll grow over time.
It will.